welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get right into the video. We are back to a part 3 Among Us, but this time we are trolling. I hope you guys like, of course, comment, I already said, and subscribe if I haven't said that already. But yeah, let's get right into the game. By the way, if you want to know what my gamer tags are on social media, that will be in the link down below, so stay tuned. That will be down. And if you all want to play with me, my username will be Mr. Wolfie. So, hope you guys enjoy. I might change it into Silverhawk, but for right now, it's Mr. Wolfie. Alright, let's see. I'm going to be trolling people. If I'm innocent, then I will be saying that I killed a person. But if I am imposter, I will be doing I will not be trolling, but only during innocent. Wait, during, I can blame it on someone else then. I need to know how to though. I shouldn't be doing that, but whatever. Here, let me kill this guy. Yeet! Oh god. Oh, that was so perfect. No, you're a dumbass. Oh, good. GG. Okay, good. Anyone in here? Are we doing good? We are doing good. Oh god. Oh fuck. No. Dude, you saw too much. God damn it. I got caught. God damn it. Be stupid. Please. Yeah, where? Yeah, it's yellow. It's yellow? No, no. It's like green. It's like green. Why is it like green? Lime, what? Meat, what? Why me? Don't even act suspicious. That's not even acting. It's pink. I jumped out way too soon. God damn it. I didn't even know that person was there. I'm a damn ad. They're gonna vote me off. There's no way. It's pink. Yeah. Vote pink off. Please vote pink off. That would be freaking amazing. Oh, they did. Loser. Oh, so sorry, not loser, but that's funny. Yeah, he's not imposter, motherfucker. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ah, we won. Let's go. Let's get into a different game, but I am changing my name. Silverhawk. Oh, I didn't spell that right. Well, frig it. No, I capitalized my A, but it's whatever. I'll keep it like that then. Then y'all just know that my name is Silverhawk with a capital A. I said something post. Okay. Alright, I don't want to listen to that. If I'm innocent, hopefully I am. I can just teach people to vote me out. I don't want to be voted off, but that's the whole point of the game. Is getting people to get me to be voted off, pretty much. Please be innocent. Yes, I'm crewmate. Let's go. Alright, I'm gonna fake. No, I'm gonna do my task, but I'm gonna fake it though. Oh, okay. No, I don't like you. I don't like you. Wait, can we? Oh yeah, we can. God damn it, I can't do it now. God damn it. Now I need to go to a different lobby. God. There we go. Go. Silverhawk. Here we go. And here's the outfit I'm going to be using every video from now on. And my skin color might change, but my outfit will not change. This is my outfit from now on. I don't like that idea, but I might change it though. Maybe there's a possibility I might. Maybe in like a week I will. I'll change it. But today I want to make a video this week before Friday, because Friday I have to do stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of happy, and it's pretty late. So I mean, not really, but yes, I'm crewmate. I need to get people to know that I'm imposter, but I'm not. I'm not imposter though. Yellow, is he gonna kill me? I guess not. I guess he's not. Should I just blame it on myself? What? Yeah, no, never mind. Don't even do it that soon. That's too soon. Bro, I'm skipping. Skip. Like, who does that? Why are people leaving? You're sus. Sorry about that. I do not have coronavirus. I promise you on that. Promise you on that. If y'all want to follow me on TikTok, my TikTok will be I'm in pretty much every my social media. I probably said that. Yeah, I said that in the beginning of my video, but I'm gonna say it again. If you guys forget, in my description is gonna have all my social media. So yeah, social media. Oh, I was about to say, if you're gonna vote him completely, I feel bad. That's way too soon though. That's way too soon. Like, who does that? One imposter left, so I'm kinda happy, but I don't like red. Maybe he might be it. He might be it. I don't know. Let's see my task. I knew it. I just guessed. I really just guessed. Hey, let me do this task real quick, and I lost. Alright, one more. Alright. If we don't win, then I don't know. Hopefully I'll be crewmate. If I'm not, then I'm good. Yeah, story. I know you. I don't know how to change that, but please be innocent. If I'm not, then I'm great at being an imposter. I need to I need to learn more about being imposter a little bit more, because I'm kind of sus. Alright, I need people to come in here. If I see someone, I'm fucking doing that. Hey, Big Daddy. I'm not gay, I swear. Oh, do the stash just in case. Storage, I'll freak that out. But if y'all don't want me to curse, then I'll put it kid friendly. But for right now, it's not kid friendly. Oh, we won. I was trying to be like, but no. I guess that's it, I guess. No, I'm gonna keep playing. No, that's not the end of my video. I thought it was gonna be. Nope, it's not going to be my end of my video. So every once a week, I will be changing my pet and my outfit. Yeah, that's the thing I don't like. I don't like people are hacking. Wait, I can't even get out of here. Why? Hey, there we go. That was a hack. I think a hacker trying to do stuff like that. That's stupid, but it's whatever. Again, big shout out to James Charles. I did that in my last video, so big shout out to him. Hi. I'm gonna say hi. Yay. Hope you guys enjoying my video so far. My next video will be Overwatch, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. Please don't be hacked. People buy hacks for no apparent reason, and no, what is going on with my screen? No, oh my god. Alright, I guess I have to end it, I guess this is the end of my video, I guess. Hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy. And I hope you guys actually enjoyed my videos as how it was. What? No, I guess it's not the end of my video then. Screw that then. Screw that then. Okay. Okay, I'm brown. Let's go. Brown lives matter. All lives matter, the hell. Alright, let's do this. Don't criticize me though. I'm a good person. Please. Okay, I guess I'm imposter. I'm happy about it. I'm happy. I'm happy. I love this map. I don't know why I do. Boo boo boo. Hold on. I just need someone in here. Come on, get someone in here. Why so soon? But no, I'm not gonna where I need to play with this more often because I haven't really played it very often, so where I want to vote orange. Orange is sus. Well, I could have skipped it though, that's kinda stupid of me. I just wanted to say no. Okay. I'm going back to you then. I thought that was gonna be my last my last part of my video just now, but come on. Whoa. I guess we won. I don't like how fast these games are going though. I just do not like that. Alright, I'm okay with that then. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do you appreciate? Oh, your mom. Who wouldn't appreciate their mom though? No, not again. Why do people buy hacks and pack the game? I don't like that. No, you know what? This is the end of the game. End of my video here then. Alright, I will be signing off here. Hope you guys follow all my social media, and I will see you in the next one. Good boy.